What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So this is a video request that I received from a subscriber who donated. They wanted me to give my opinion on what I think would have happened had Kobe went to college instead of coming straight out of high school playing in the NBA. Now, of course, when Kobe was doing that in real life, in actuality, that was when you first started seeing more and more guys, because of the money that players were starting to make then, skyrocketing salaries. That's when you started seeing players come more out of out of high school, or maybe just 1 year of college or so, or a couple of years of college, and leaving early or coming straight from high school into the league. Like Kobe obviously was one. Kevin Garnett was another one who did it the year before. Another guy I think that did that was Jermaine O'Neal. Tracy McGrady is another one. So you started seeing this more and more often. The only problem was, for all of those guys, and many of them still struggled or languished on the bench for many years. Like if I remember correctly, Jermaine O'Neal was on the Portland Trailblazers bench for a couple of years before he found a home in Indiana. And even Kobe wasn't exactly Kobe the first couple of years because of his rawness and his lack of opportunity. Now, a lot of these guys back then weren't getting a lot of playing time. And also, the Kwame Browns and some of these other guys, going from the high school ranks where they were dominating to being in the NBA when they weren't getting much playing time or being outplayed on a regular basis because the game is just so much faster and so it's just different and harder to dominate in. Sometimes these guys just weren't ready for the NBA and they flamed out. All right, so Kobe was an exception to that. But what would have happened if Kobe went to college? I mean, there's a lot of different things you got to factor into that. Number one, I think we all know that more than likely he would have went to Duke. Although he did express at one point in time a love for North Carolina. Mike Krzyzewski was this guy. He'd have went to Duke. All right. Now, I'm going to make the assumption in this video that he's going to go all 4 years with Duke, 1996 and 2000. I'm just going to make that assumption. Now, I just think that if he went to college, if he went to Duke, I guess the main effects would be that it would help him in areas in which I think he got a lot of criticism for, especially when he was younger, as far as being, quote-unquote, a better teammate. Some of the criticisms for Kobe was that he was not trusting of teammates. He could be impatient working with guys who were not on his talent level. Because a lot of great players, they think that you're not good because you're just not working hard. When in reality, it's not that they're not trying hard, they just don't have, a lot of guys, they're not trying hard, it's that they just don't have the talent. So I think Kobe would be better under Coach Duke as far as working in the team concept and just being under Mike's. I mean, Kobe was already a very mature young man anyway for his age. I mean, aside from that one fucked up situation that he got himself into, Kobe was a very, very mature man for his age, a young person for his age. But working under Mike Krzyzewski, I think he'll have been an even better leader and a better teammate. He'll been a little bit more NBA ready. So, I mean, that's pretty much what I see. Also, considering that he'd have been coming out into the draft in 2000 if he goes all 4 years, right? At least off the top of my head, yeah, 2000. So that was around the time that they had the team that eventually won it all in 2001 anyway, right? It's a team that had Shane Battier and Jay Williams and Trajan Langdon and those guys, right? So I'm thinking if Kobe Bryant is on that roster, then at least by 2000, the odds are high that Duke would have won a title in 2000. So imagine Kobe coming out of college with an NCAA championship, being an NCAA champion, and obviously considering how weak that draft was, him being number one draft pick. Now this is the thing about when you do all these woulda, coulda, shouldas. You got to readjust shit because now, in this scenario, wouldn't he have been drafted by the Magic? Because I'm pretty sure he'd be the number one overall pick, which in reality went to, I think, Mike Miller, right? That was a weak-ass draft. So Kobe goes to Orlando in this scenario, whereas with the Lakers, I mean, I'm assuming Eddie Jones is still the guy for the Lakers at shooting guard in this scenario. So are we going to have a draft day trade where we trade Eddie Jones to Orlando for Kobe Bean Bryant? Even though I think in this scenario, Kobe, is going to be much more, obviously, they're going to demand a lot more than what Charlotte did when Kobe was just coming out of high school. So they're going to have to get rid of Eddie Jones, they're going to get rid of maybe some picks, some other guys for Kobe. Let's just say that happens. Now that means that in 2000 the Lakers didn't win a championship. Let's say it went to, let's say the Spurs repeated or something. I forgot exactly what happened that year, if there was any injuries or anything. But let's just say the Spurs repeated. So now you have a more NBA ready Kobe going into the 2000-2001 season, playing with Shaquille O'Neal. Maybe their relationship is better. Maybe because Kobe already is an NCAA champion. Kobe is kind of used. He's better at dealing with teammates and playing within a team concept. Maybe he's not resisting it as much, you know what I'm saying, in this scenario as he did when he first came to the NBA, when he's 18 as opposed to now he's 21, 22. So I just think that what would happen is he'd be an even better Kobe Bryant. He wouldn't have played 20 years, but it'll be more like 15, 16 years. But he'd been even better, more NBA ready. And some of the flaws that he had early on in his career aren't there. So I think that potentially a college-ready Kobe may have ended up being even better than Michael Jordan. And that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot, man. He'd been more patient as a scorer, patient as a player. For instance, there are situations where I think there are times when Kobe didn't trust his teammates and he was trying to do too much, and ultimately that hurt the team in the long run against superior teams. Maybe in a more college prepared Kobe, a Kobe that trusts his teammates more, knows more about the psychology of dealing with teammates. Maybe he does better. Maybe he approaches the game from a more cerebral standpoint earlier on in his career rather than trying to physically dominate the game. Pick his spots more. So I think his stats will look a lot better because he wouldn't have all those earlier, rookie and sophomore years when he's barely getting any play time hurting him. And plus, because he went to college now and has proven himself to be a great player, I doubt Dale Harris will be the coach at this point. But let's just say it's still Phil Jackson. Kobe's going to get playing time immediately. He's going to be a starter. So it's not going to be that, that war in the team where guys feel like he didn't deserve shit or, like guys rooting against him. And I don't know, man. I just think if Kobe went to college, probably he would have been an even better NBA player than he was, which is hard to even fathom. I think he would have been possibly the greatest player we've ever seen. Because I think that's the difference between him and Michael. Honestly. College. And some other physical advantages. But that's it. That's kind of what I think, man. He'd have been great regardless. He was destined to be great. But I think that he probably been a little bit more polished in some areas. It was hurting him initially. He went to college. That's just how I feel about it. Tell me what you guys think.